All right, if I can have everyone's attention, we will get started with our winners press conference here at Watkins Glen International following the 18th annual Zippo 200. We welcome Carl Edwards, who won the Zippo 200 here, his 38th victory and 245 NASCAR Nationwide Series wins. This 38th win puts Edwards in sole possession of third on the all-time NASCAR Nationwide Series win list, breaking a tie with Kevin Harvick. This is his first victory of 2012 and first victory in 8 races here at Watkins Glen International. So, Carl, driver of the number 60 Subway Ford, talk a little bit about that win out there today.
This win means a lot. That was a lot of fun. I had a really good time racing out there. I'm really glad that Jack and Ford and Subway and everyone put this together so that I could run this car. Scott did a great job with the car. We had virtually no practice. We almost qualified on the pole, and we won the race. The car ran really well. I made one pretty big mistake coming to the white flag, and Brad got up beside me, but fortunately we were able to battle and get back ahead of him. But it was just a really fun race. I had a good time racing on with two runs from the end. Kyle and I battled really hard. Man, he can go deep in those braking zones, so we went after it pretty hard. That was a lot of fun. And just overall a really good day. The only big mistake was running into Joey there and spinning him out. I felt bad about that, but we were all racing pretty hard for position right then. And but yeah, just overall really grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad we got the win.
Joining Carl here on stage is team owner Jack Roush. Jack, talk a little bit about Carl's first race back in Nationwide this year and obviously being here with the win today.
I guess I don't quite have it feels a little like a hot potato. You know, the reason that we didn't have run Carl more this year is that this is the first time Carl has won it.
Here, you need a microphone? You guys hear him? Here. I don't know why I'm taking it out.
As I was saying,
this is the guy that runs our whole team right here. No, I'm just messing.
I can't fix a microphone. You know, this was the first time, Carl, I felt like that it was worthwhile for him to run a Nationwide car this year. The run in the 2 practices, Nationwide and Cup, was really hard on him and hard on Kate, I think, for what he would carry home at night. And so anyway, this was a rare opportunity that we had to have Carl in a Nationwide car. It's this is Scott Graves' first role as crew chief, as far as I know. You weren't a crew chief someplace else?
Nope.
So this is he's got a perfect win success record here as a crew chief. And of course, it's a testament to the work that the guys do in the shop that they were able to generate another potential winning car out of the inventory of parts they had, and to be able to present on a racetrack and with almost no practice, being on the front row in competition for the pole, and then of course with Carl's enthusiasm and his ability, he was able to pull it off.
Okay, having trouble with mine now. As Jack mentioned, also joining them here at the table is crew chief Scott Graves, who, as he mentioned, is obviously has a perfect record now coming into this. So talk a little bit about being here with Carl and Jack for this win here today.
It was, obviously a great opportunity. It was a few weeks ago when it was brought up to me that I could do this, and I jumped on the chance to work here with Carl. I'd worked with him last year nationwide. Had a really successful year with him there, and just to do this was a great opportunity, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
All right, we'll take questions for all three. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start right here up front.
Carl, Dave Salieri, Auto Racing News. Tell us about the pass for the lead on the restart, please.
The second, when I started second. We went down into turn 1. I was having a little trouble on my restarts, and so I decided, if anything, I was going to be a little too aggressive down there into turn 1, and Brad gave me enough room on the exit to run beside him. He didn't run me off the racetrack, which was really nice, and I was just able to hang on the outside of him and get around him in that first S. So that was a lot of fun. That was a good start. The starts here are very difficult because you drive down into that first turn. It's downhill. Everyone is fighting for the bottom. You're all going through the gears, and it's hard to. I guess it's probably hard watching to realize that none of us we don't have any practice going into turn 1 at that speed. We're used to going in at race pace, so you have to really pick your braking points very carefully, and that one worked out really well.
Okay, we'll take our next question up front and then go over to Bob.
For Mr. Roush, finally got a win in this series. You've won everything else up here. Just nice to finally get this off the to-do list.
Yeah, this is great to finally win here at Watkins Glen. We always enjoyed bringing our road race cars here, and of course we've had some success with our Cup cars. I think we had a stretch with Mark Martin where we won 2 or 3 years in a row. But it was great. I had not realized until somebody asked me in the victory circle there if we had won here before, and I says, gee, I don't believe we did. But it's a great place to come. We enjoy the racetrack. I wish we had more road races. I'm not saying that I'd trade going to MIS for a road race, but I'd like to have an opportunity to come here twice a year.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Bob.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. For Carl, when in the hard racing with Kyle and Joey, is that just a matter of staying down, keeping the bottom line and holding your line there? And then also, I'm curious if on the restart, if it's any different next year when you both have the same horsepower or the same engines.
Yeah, I don't think the engine. I'll answer the second part first. I don't think the engines were the issue on the restart. It's just who can keep from spinning the tires and who's willing to go hard enough down to the corner. And then once you get to the corner, if you've got the tires cleaned off, and sometimes it works out for one guy and not the other guy. And then earlier in the race, it's just really hard racing, and there was a lot of blocking going on, and having to move people out of the way and all that stuff. But then I think once we got all that out of our system, the next run we had a good clean race, and that was, I think, the right way to do it. So I'm glad we were able to, Kyle and I, to go back and race like that and end it on a good note. But as far as Joey, I was just doing everything I could to get the position there in turn 7, and I got up beside him. I expected him to know that I was there, and I don't think he knew I was there. And he turned down for the bottom. I hate it that he spun around. I'm sure it hurt his day, but we're just racing as hard as we could there. Who's that? I don't know. I have to talk to him about it. Hopefully he understands that there was no bad intention. I just was sticking my nose in there, doing the best I could. I was past there earlier in the race, and that's one where if you come off of the corner previous to that slow, you really got to expect the guy to put the car in that position, and that's what happened there. And I don't know if he knew I was there or not.
Additional questions we'll take up here from Reed.
Wire service. Carl, on the coming through the last corner right before the one to go, when he got up beside you, could you talk about what was going on there? Did you get a little bit loose because it looked like he got squeezed a little bit against the wall?
Right. Okay. So there's 6 and then 7. 6 would be the second to last corner. 7 would be the last corner. Going into 6, I went in harder than I'd been going in. I was trying to make up a little speed there. I missed that downshift. Brad got up beside me, and then we went into 7, and it was just, I figured that was a race for the win. So I don't know if I squeezed him or got loose or whatever, but that was all I had, and to me that was just really hard racing for the win. I don't know if I have to go look at the replay. What did it look like?
Well, he thought you just got loose, and he hit the wall a little bit on his left side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was doing everything I could. I wasn't sure at that point. A lot like the situation with Joey. I don't know if the spotters can see down there very well. I was certain he was on the outside of me, so I hugged it as close as I could to the inside, got on the gas as early as I could, did everything I could to get ahead of him. I tried to give him as much room as I could. He'd raced me really cleanly all day, and hopefully I did a good enough job there for him.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Steve, then come back up to Lee.
Steve Richards with PRN. Obviously, Carl, you haven't forgotten how to win, but what did you think crossing the checkered flag, taking the checkered flag, and what are your thoughts on finally getting a trophy again?
Well, it's nice to win races. I've learned enough in this sport. Jack's let me drive his cars long enough that I've learned that sometimes even the best performances don't yield a trophy. I would say today's race is not my best performance, but we got the trophy, and that is nice to win a race. We really need to win a race in the Cup Series. That would be great. I think this will help with that. It never hurts to get to victory lane and be a, the backflip I was a little nervous about. I hadn't done one of those for a while, so had to stop and think. Okay, feet over the head, look at the ground, I've been watching a lot of the Olympics, but that really doesn't seem to help when you have to do it yourself.
Go ahead with follow-up.
I'll repeat it.
I've got a quick question for Scott. How was it like? What was it like to be up on the box today, and would you like to be doing a whole lot more of this?
Oh yeah. I was a little nervous to start, but I think as I got through the race and got comfortable with, just the things that you're supposed to do as a crew chief, talking on the radio and trying to make some of the decisions, definitely, started to come into it and enjoy it a little bit more. And yeah, I absolutely would love to have the chance to do this more.
Okay, go ahead, Lee.
The next one. Where at? Montreal. Oh.
My background, I guess I started at Roush. I've been there 6.5 years. Just always on the engineering side. Started off in the truck series and worked my way through nationwide. Was on the Cup side for a little while. Like I say, I've been doing that for a while, and I kind of expressed some interest in moving up to that next step and moving forward a little bit and trying a nationwide crew chief spot. And when this opportunity came up, I was lucky enough to get that chance.
Go ahead.
Scott had done a really nice job for those 6.5 years as an engineer. And there's two paths that we see for crew chiefs. One is to come from the traditional, build the cars, be able to provide leadership on every part of everything mechanical. Some of the crew chiefs come that way, and of course then there's been engineers like Scott that have advanced to the point where they had the knowledge, practical experience, as well as the engineering judgments to make a compelling reason why they should be the crew chief. But Scott exemplifies, what we did with Bob Osborne and with Chip Bowen and a number of the guys that have grown up in our organization, come in with ambition and ability and stay with it, work hard, and learn from one another, and then eventually be able to be a crew chief. Sorry? My take on Dodge? Dodge has been in and out over a period of time, and my guess is one day they'll come back again. But it was a real tough situation having their bankruptcy and their overseas investment and the other things that they've had to balance. I know that the automobile business in Europe right now is real hard, and that probably pays on Fiat, a lot for what they need to be doing to take care of that side of their business. But it's no great surprise. I was 50-50 on whether I thought Dodge would stay, and I think the garage was pretty much the same. Nobody knew what they would do, and they've made a decision that they think is good for them for the short term in their business. I hope it is, and look forward to them coming back one day if it suits their purpose.
Additional questions for the winning team?
Hey, one other thing I want to say, I didn't thank Marcus Ambrose in Victory Lane or in here, but he has helped a lot with our Fords and helped to make them fast. And I really appreciate everything that he's contributed. I think that we all up here know that he's been someone that we've leaned on for these road race cars. And I think that our cars, the speed that we have today and tomorrow, is a huge reflection on Marcus and his contribution. So I want to officially say thank you.
All right.